BTB listeners, thank you so much for checking out today's episode. Listen, if this episode inspires you, do me a favor and take 5 seconds to shoot me a like and subscribe to the podcast. There are several more exciting guests that are in the pipeline, and I just can't thank you enough for your continued support, and let's keep paying the mission forward.
Don't be afraid of the dark. Be careful with stars. Not every light is gonna guide you, baby.
Welcome to the BTB Project, designed to empower listeners to identify their why and to live their best lives no matter the circumstances. My name is Kollman Gearhart, a former athlete and motivational coach. I've had the opportunity to inspire thousands through my story and help accomplish what they are built to be. You'll be encouraged by each and every episode, and let's get into it.
Yeah, when I blow up, I'ma soar high like Peter Pan. In real life, be living out my dreams. If I'm waking up, it's in a foreign land.
In today's BTB short, have you ever looked at yourself in the mirror and asked, who am I right now? You're in the trenches dealing with a difficult circumstance, and you just know that life has hit you really, really hard right now. Maybe you lost your job. Maybe you lost that spot on the team that you just desired so heavily to be on. That important relationship. It meant everything to you, and now it's gone. The routine, everything that you knew with your life, your identity, is now missing. I myself am currently facing an identity crisis. I've had many years of familiarizing myself with my skill sets, what I can and can't do, how I can give back to a community. And I've recently found myself picking up the pieces of what I thought I knew who I was. I'm actually in this phase of my life where I'm being stripped down to my core to be able to grow and adapt and develop into truly what I'm built to be. You see, the BTB Project and its mission to help people become the strongest version of themselves is something that I'm realizing is constantly evolving. Let me ask you something very real right now. I mean, when was the last time you really felt like you? Not the version where you perform in the world or being a habitual people pleaser or doing the things that people want you to do. But you're actually you. Not the title next to your name, but your raw, real purpose, driven and unshaken to impact this world and people's lives. If you can't answer that version of you right away, I can completely relate to that. You see, there was a season in my life where I wasn't just a tennis player anymore. I became a husband and a father. I transitioned out of full-time tennis into a sales career. And always being known as the tennis player or the coach, it shifted in my full-time work to where I really started over again. And I did that for various reasons, to spend more time with my family. The demands of coaching full-time tennis can take away those afternoons, weekends, and holidays, which is what I experienced when I was running my coaching consulting business full-time. But ultimately making that switch, it put me into a lot of unique situations. I've learned a lot. I've made a ton of mistakes. I had to learn how to work for other people, which, to be honest, I haven't been very good at. Humbling myself to take that path of employee rather than owner has been challenging. What I'm realizing is through that change, even though deep down inside it was something that I struggle with, I've been able to learn a lot and know that I'm able to pivot and adapt and adjust based off of my skill set to diversify the opportunities that I have in my life. I don't think this podcast would be something that I would ever be able to do without understanding my role in sales and my ability to provide for my family and my ability to put myself out there and be vulnerable. Countless job interviews, dozens and dozens and dozens of job interviews. But ultimately, that's been something that's helped me interview people that I have on the podcast. These dynamic personalities and these unbelievable stories. My open-ended questions have stemmed from my ability to navigate a lot of these situations with what I've learned as a sales professional. But ultimately, when that chapter closed in my life of being a high-level tennis player to then going into full-time coaching and consulting to where that chapter closed for the time being, to then going into this world of sales, I've noticed this identity shift. So I want to help you as a listener identify these moments of identity crisis and help you find yourself again. So here's what's helped me. You got to strip everything back in your life and do an inventory and strip it back to its core. Who were you before the world told you who you're supposed to be? Who was that person? Who's the person that you look at in the mirror and it's like, that's exactly who I am. I want you to get back to that point. It's so easy with all of the distractions to be in a position of comparison, to be in a position of doing things in your life to try to keep up with the Joneses. I've certainly been guilty of that. But strip it back to its core. That gut feeling you have, what's in your heart, get back to that root. That's an important place to start. Next is I want you to get quiet. A lot of times when I exercise, I'll put on my AirPods and listen to a podcast or jam out to some music. But sometimes I'll go and have those runs or those workouts without any music, trying to silence the noise. Your identity isn't found in distraction. It's found in reflection. And it's those quiet moments between you and yourself. It's where you actually have the ability to reflect. You have the ability to focus. I'm a firm believer that if you're not taking care of those moments of taking care of yourself, how in the world are you supposed to take care of anybody else? Number 3 is you have to ask bigger questions about your identity. Not what you want to do, but why do you exist? What is your calling? What is your purpose? The purpose is the anchor that keeps you steady when your identity feels like it's broken or it's on uneven grounds right now. Being able to ask why can overcome any how. Lastly is take one action that aligns with that gut feeling in your identity. It's one thing to identify who you are and who you know you want to be or are or want to become, but taking action, even if it's small, even if it feels awkward, take that opportunity to take the step forward. It might be, heck, I'll use my example. I've always been scared to do things like what I'm doing right now, because I truly felt like no one wanted to hear a word that I had to say. And then thinking back over the last 2.5 years of doing the Project podcast and over the 20 years of coaching, it was the people that I was helping that encouraged me to have the dialogue and the lessons and the teachings be something that's for the masses, not just people that are trying to improve their forehand or their backhand. So me being able to take the action of doing this podcast and continuing to put in the reps like this BTB short, these are all things that help me align with the God-given gift and the identity that God has given me to give back and to do good work in His name. Through those 4 actions of finding yourself again, stripping back to your core, asking bigger questions, getting quiet, taking one action that aligns with your why. This is foundationally the best place to start when it comes to you being on the precipice of doing something extraordinary in your life. Let me remind you of something. You are not what happened to you. You are not what you lost. You are not your resume, your body, your bank account, or the performance that you had in your last athletic event. You are built for more than a label, than a status. You are built with a purpose. You are built to return and not retreat when things get tough in your life. You are built to be. And it is that, my friends, that is going to establish something and ignite something in you that you never thought would be possible. Listen, if this BTB short impacted you, do me a favor and like and subscribe to the BTB Project. I've been so fortunate to have these unbelievable guests, these unbelievable conversations that I try to pay forward to you as a listener to help you establish just that. What are you built to be? And it's through the podcast, I hope through your support, we continue to drive the mission as a community and share it. Share it with your friends and family. Have it be something that is a talking point amongst you to rekindle a relationship. Have it be a talking point to help someone else that might be having an identity crisis. It's together in community where the magic happens. And as always, I'm proud of each and every one of you. And until next time, take care.